Hello and brightest blessings, beautiful souls. I am Amethyst Moonflower, and welcome to my channel, a sacred space where we discuss all things spiritual, magical, and personal development. So if you like this type of content and want to support this channel's growth, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications so you never miss a video. I'm a certified life coach, crystal healer, artist, creator, writer, and ordained priestess. And my goal is to help others tap into their personal magic and higher self to manifest their dreams into reality and turn their passion into purpose. If you're interested in working with me or just want to keep up with all my latest content and because you love what I'm doing, then please check out all my social medias and website at amethystmoonflower.com, and all the links to that will be in the bio. So without further ado, let's get started. Hello, so today's video, I'm going to be walking you guys through my new and updated Book of Shadows for day 3 of Witchtober, 31 Days of Magic. And yes, I have done a Book of Shadows walkthrough tour and all my other magical journals. There's another video that I've done on that's on my channel. So if you're interested in looking at all those books, it's a pretty long video, but you know, I get into a lot of detail with my journals and my books and everything. So if that's something that you're interested in, you can go check that video out. But today we're going to be looking at my newest Book of Shadows and my companion book as well. So thank you all for coming, and let's dive in. Okay, so this is my newest Book of Shadows. Now, in my other Book of Shadows walkthrough video where I show all my other journals, I showed everybody my big black Book of Shadows that I was making, and that one was an 11 by 15, and it had faux leather and like 700 pages, and there was a lot of work left to do in that that book. But I decided to stop working on that book. I'm putting it aside. I'm no longer working in that book anymore because it was just too big in size, not thickness, but like around. The 11 by 15 paper was really expensive, and it was really difficult working in because it was just so much paper, and I couldn't make any prints off my computer or anything like that. It just didn't fit. So I decided to make a new Book of Shadows, as you can see, and this one is your standard. It fits normal computer paper, the 8.5 by 11, so I can do the regular 3-ring punch. And but I made this book completely by scratch. If you see how thick it is, it's about 4 or 5 inches thick. And look at these. These are all my tabs that I've made. I'm completely going with a whole new vibe with this Book of Shadows, and I'm really super excited. I've been working on it for about, I don't know, since I also did another video a while back where I showed you guys some stationery papers and stuff that I had picked up, and so I was using a lot of that paper. So it's been about 6 months, maybe 8 months I've had this book now, and recently I picked up some more paper, and I ended up redecorating this journal that I picked up for a good price at Walmart. And as you can see, it's got this forest green witch style to this journal, and I really love it. It came out right at the beginning of the Halloween season at Michael's, so I got really lucky and was able to pick me up paper for this. But this is what I call my magical companion to my main Book of Shadows, and this is mainly just like a brain dump journal or a note-taking type of journal where it's not formal, and I take a lot of notes and stuff when it comes to like the videos that I'm going to be making or circles that I'm going to be doing with groups and stuff like that. So, but this is the inside page of this journal. It's a big cutout from that collection, and it says, "The forest is dark and full of magic." I love this copper foiling, and it has this really pretty purple ink blotch type of design and this green ink blotch design, and it's really pretty. And also in the back I have this raven, and I don't know what type of flower that is, but it's really pretty. And it's got some mushrooms and some ferns and some lavender, and I'm pretty sure that's like comfrey or something, but it's got this really gorgeous foresty, earthy, kind of dark. I love it. So that's the design that I went with. And I also have added this in here as well. Welcome to the witching hour. More copper foiling and the raven and flowers motif, and also on the inside cover here, trying to block some of my private journaling, I just wrote established 9/26/2020. So obviously this one's pretty new because the paper's new. I just got the paper like a week ago, so there's not a whole lot in this journal, but what is in here is pretty private for now. And I also made some bookmarks to go in it. So this I just wanted to show you because I love how these two look together and work together. So, but going back to the new chunky giant 4, almost 5-inch thick, and I was really going for that like scrappy junk journals style, but I also wanted to still have it post bound. So as you can see here, it has 3 ring post bound, which is really nice because I can take the papers in and out as I need to. I also have a pocket in the front and the back, and I made these little booklets out of the paper as well because I thought they would be cute for like side projects or whatever. And here's another one that I made. I haven't really decided exactly what I'm going to be using the mini notebooks for, but I have them nonetheless. But I love this constellation and the galaxy and everything. But if you remember from my the big black book of shadows, I drew this and I had glued it on this navy blue constellation paper here, and I loved it so much and I really didn't want to have to redraw it, so I just cut the paper down so that it would fit. And yeah, so it's still my cover page because I love having this as my cover page. And oh well, I'm gonna have to fix that. And it's still pretty stiff, especially in the front because it's so thick I can't really bend the pages that much. But this is the kind of my cover piece here, and this was from that new Forest Witch scrapbook paper that I got, and I just love how it's got the entire theme on here. And I wrote The Book of Shadows of a Cosmic Crystal Mystical Forest Starseed Witch by Amethyst Moonflower, because that's kind of what I am. And then, here, let's see if I can readjust this so that I can show you guys a little bit better what's going on here. I'm going to have to prop it up. And then I kind of just made this like aesthetics page here where it kind of shows a little bit of like my style and what I kind of like. I just love the design here, or the pictures. I found this off Pinterest. It just has a lot of bones and natural items and stuff like that to kind of just show off my theme. And then here is my Book of Shadows Blessing. I have the Wiccan Reed, and this paper that this is hand coffee dyed paper that I've done myself, and I typed this out and printed it off. So I have the Wiccan Reed, the Solitary Witch as a poem, the 13 Wiccan Principles, the Code of Chivalry, and this nice little printed design here, which I think I'm going to be coloring in. And I know for me personally, there are times when I really enjoy writing by hand, but then there are also times when I like typing things out on the computer. So that's my style. I go back and forth, and I don't mind that, and I think it just kind of adds to the character of the book by, being a little bit more versatile. And then here I have the witch's pyramid: to will, to dare, to know, and to keep silent. And then a blank page probably for more art. The 7 hermetic principles, and my printer was kind of starting to act a little funny near the end of printing everything off. I think it was because the paper, or it was running out of ink or something. So we have the 13 hermetic principles, and then the witch's rune, and then this is the cover divider for the About Wicca, Witchcraft, and Paganism section. So what is pagan, and then the different types of pagan traditions, and then what is witchcraft, and different types of witches or witchcraft styles. And this is not by any means like a complete list. This is just like an overall general coverage of the different types of witches and witchcraft, just because I didn't want it to be like super long. And then we have what is Wicca, and an explanation and a list here of the different types of Wicca. And then I have a lot of this isn't completely filled in. There's a lot of empty pages in this book, but I am currently working on filling it in here and there as I go. But this is dedicated for the Wiccan creation story, and then we'll have altars, creating sacred space, sacred adornments, solitary versus coven, coven rules and guidelines, and then we're going to be moving into the magical symbols and correspondences section, where we have color correspondences, feathers, shapes, numbers, hair, magical symbols, witch's alphabet, and there will probably be more in there as I, develop more. And then we have the spiritual journey of Amethyst Moonflower, which is this is a section for me to write about my own story. And I haven't started it yet. I haven't gotten around to doing it, but I felt like it was important to add to my journal. And I only had like a few pages left of this really pretty paper that I got back when I was like a freshman in high school. It has this like dark fairy and purple lines, and I always loved her, and I used to have a whole bunch, but I've used so much of it, and I only have a few pages left. So I dedicated the last few pages to telling my spiritual story in my book. And then we go into moon phases and Wiccan goddesses, and this whole section here is going to be dedicated to the moon and phases of moon and types of moon. Here we have, what is this? This is the Western moon calendar, and then we'll have the Celtic tree moon calendar here. More types of moons: the super moon, blue moon, black moon, the ring around the moon, lunar eclipse, numeral eclipse, solar eclipse, and annular eclipse, and the differences and everything like that. And then things to do for the new moon and things to do for the full moon. And then, of course, there will be a section for goddesses. And then we have the Wheel of the Year and Wiccan Gods, which I haven't filled out any of this yet, but I have it planned out. So this is where I'm going to go over kind of like basic information about all the Sabbats and pagan gods. And then this is the section for the elements. And I've started kind of drawing out, sketching with pencil, kind of an idea of, what I wanted the cover to look like for each of the sections. But I did it in pencil because I wasn't 100% sure if this is exactly what I wanted it to look like. And obviously I'm probably going to like touch it up and fix it. But, I got the sun, lightning, and flames. here I kind of was trying to go with like having a waterfall coming down and then like turning into an ocean type scene. And then this section is for, I love this design right here, the chakras and meditation section, which is completely empty right now, but that's that section. And then the circle casting section. And I really like this design for this cover. Like, I tried to pick designs out of that spiritual paper that I picked up that I felt would match the section, and I thought that this paper really matched the circle casting. And then we have like circles and ceremonies and talking about that and some like tips and stuff, ritual components, preparing sacred space, ritual bath, trying to keep this center so you can see everything, sorry. Short circle casting, full circle casting, because I like to have two different types. I might even have a third type. Hand washing, cakes and wine, closing the circle. And then we go into the SBAT rituals section here. New moon SBAT, charge of the crone, full moon SBAT, drawing down the moon, and charge of the goddess. And then I'm probably going to have more in here as well. And then this is the Sabbath rituals section. So this is where all of my Sabbath rituals are going to be. And then I have a section for more rituals and ceremonies. So all of my rituals and ceremonies that I want to write out that aren't sun and moon related. So we have the initiation rite, first degree initiation, second degree, third degree, priestess dedication, hand fasting, the great rite, Wiccan rite, or the Wiccaning rite, puberty rite, croning rite. What else do I have in here? And funeral rite, and that's it for now. I'm probably going to have more in there too. And then spell casting section, which just has a bunch of blank paper in here because I haven't written down any of my spells. I have a bunch of spells, but I just, like I said, I haven't taken the time to actually like put them in here because I want to make it more scrapbooky. I don't want it to just be words on a page. I want it to look really artsy and have my own flavor to it. And when I fill this out more, I'm going to be keeping you guys updated as I go on, probably on my Instagram and stuff like that. So if you're interested in seeing what I'm doing with my pages, I do plan on sharing more, either in an update video every so often or, pictures on Instagram. So this is my herbal magic section where I'm going to write about all the, the steps and things like that. But then this is my herbal grimoire section. So this is the section where I'm going to pretty much write down everything about each plant. And so far I've got these aren't even all of the pictures that I want to add. I need to get a picture for Dandelion. But because I have a list that I want to go over, but I haven't even printed off all the pictures yet. But yes, this is my and I kind of like the idea of printing off a picture and gluing it in instead of like hand drawing it, because it's just so much easier that way. And plus, I kind of wanted my Book of Shadows to have like I had said before, a combination of handwriting and computer, because that's just my style. So I really enjoy seeing what the flowers actually look like and having a good picture of them, so that if I do plan on taking my book somewhere, I can use it to help me identify a lot of different things. And so that's a pretty chunky section so far. And then of course we have the crystal magic section. It has to have crystals on it, right? And then this is where it's going to have all the the knowledge on working with the crystals and everything. And then the once again, computer printed pictures for all of the different types of crystals. and I'm going to be working on filling these out as well. But I just love looking through this section, both the plants and the crystals. Something about looking through the section and looking at all of the different crystals is so satisfying to me. It just makes me so happy. And I like color coordinating them. Like, some people will go in alphabetical order or whatever, but I go by color just because visually, to me, it seems more appealing. Well, I'll go by type and color at the same time. So it's like, if I have a bunch of quartz, I put all the quartz together, but I go in color, in rainbow order. So here, like tiger's eye, you know, like I got all three of the tiger's eye groups together, but then we have blue tiger's eye, which leads into the malachite, which leads into the azurite, which leads into the labradorite. They're very closely color coordinated. And the reason why I like having my crystals sort of color coordinated is because sometimes when you're trying to identify a crystal, you know what color it is, but there's so many different colors, so many types that are blue. So having them all together, you know, you can hold the crystal up to the picture and see which one it matches best. And I mean, it's not the most accurate way to identify a crystal because there's so many different variations, but it does help. You know, especially when you're looking at things like, you know, jade, moldavite, and serpentine. You know, sometimes they can look very similar. You know, peridot, all these can look very similar. So having the pictures together kind of like helps me identify them. But looking through the crystals is so satisfying. I love it. It's like going to your own little crystal shop every time. And then in the back, we kind of, these aren't technically crystals, but, you know, I'm putting them in here anyways because they kind of fall into that category, like pearl, coral, and lightning sand. And then this is the astrology and star magic section that I've started. Here are some, like, cutouts that I had in the paper that I got, and they're like cards. And I really wanted to use them for something, but I haven't quite decided exactly what I'm going to be using them for. But I cut them out and I made this little pocket for them. And then I kind of started this little picture here. And then a section for the houses, the sun, and, oh wait, sorry. Yes, the houses, the sun, and then all of the signs in the planet of the sun. So, all the sun signs. To me, it made the most sense to do the sun and then the sun signs because, you know. And then we have the moon. And then I was going to, you know, write about the moon and then do like a short description of all of the signs in the moon. Same thing with Mercury, a description of Mercury, and then all of the signs in Mercury. Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. And then a little section in the back for the ascendants, the descendant, north node, south node, and then probably like Chiron and stuff like that. And then this is the divination and psychic development section, which doesn't have a whole lot in here at the moment. Actually, it doesn't really have anything, but I got plans for that. Astral travel and dream work section. Spirit animals and familiars section. Realm of the Fae and mystical creatures. I love this like old map. Oh, I think it goes perfect for this section. Now, like, see, there's a lot of work to do in this book, but I feel like it's so much easier for me to work in because of the size of the paper. And I just love the dividers because it makes it so much easier to find things, and it just adds its own little layer to the book itself. So, you know, I kind of titled some pages, the Fae, the mermaid, the unicorn, and the dragon. spirit realms and communication, which there's nothing in here yet either, but I don't really like do spirit communication myself, but I'm really fascinated with the spirit realm and you know, knowing a lot about different types of spirits. And then we have sacred geometry and spiritual alchemy, which I'm really excited to get into this section. I'm really excited about that section. And then I added my own little section, spiritual business and entrepreneur, where I write different things about spirituality and running a business and things like that, and related to my business, because spirituality is such a big part of my business, and running a business is so magical. And then in the back, I just have a bunch of extra, paper that I have saved up for when I want to make extra notes. And I did coffee dye a bunch of paper, but I didn't do it all. Some of it is, I did buy some parchment paper as well. So there's like there's an assortment. Sorry, I hit my stand. There's an assortment of different types of papers, which I like. And then I also have the plain white computer paper. And then I also have lined paper because I want it to feel scrappy. I want it to have different layers to it. And then this is my back page. And then I just added this in, but it was almost too big width-wise to fit in here. But I did squeeze it in, just squeezed it in. But this is a family tree page that I have that I just need a couple more names to add to it. And then I thought it would be that's my daughter, Elaine Ann Rose Snyder, and then me and my husband. And so this is my side and this is his side, and I thought it was just so nice to have in the Book of Shadows. I just feel like it makes it feel complete to have that inside. And then that's the end of what I have in my Book of Shadows so far. And yes, it's all completely handmade by me, and I'm so excited to be working in it, and I love how it looks like this. Like, it's just so aesthetically pleasing. So let me get that back in there. There we go. And so that's my new updated beautiful Book of Shadows. Thank you all for sitting and watching and joining me as I walk through and sharing it with you. And I hope you enjoyed it as much as I do. And please leave a comment, share your thoughts, share anything that you want, and let me know what you think and everything like that. So these two books together are my newest additions, and I'm so happy to be able to share them with you guys. So happy Witchtober Day 3, and Day 4 is tomorrow, and hopefully I'll have that video ready on time. I'm sorry that the last couple days the videos have been technically like a day late, but that's just because I wasn't anticipating, the editing process. Well, it wasn't just the editing, it was the downloading process. When it's exporting the video from one to the next, it was taking so long. It was ridiculous, but I'm trying my best to get caught back up and get this to you today on the 3rd. So tomorrow will be the 4th, and I'll be able to get you a video on the 4th as well. So thank you all for sticking around, and I'll see you guys next time. Blessed be.